Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm associate producer and the host of Red Barn Radio, Brad Becker, and I'm here to welcome you to Red Barn Radio's 509th live performance. Tonight, Red Barn Radio welcomes Red Leg Husky. This is Red Leg Husky's second Red Barn appearance. Last time they appeared as a duo, and tonight they return to the Red Barn stage with a new member, Son, who is behind me. Please welcome tonight's guest to the Red Barn Radio stage, Red Leg Husky.
Well, 20-odd years ago, I was born along the tracks. Now I have to my name I carry on my back. I roamed and I rambled, but never feel alone. When I hear that whistle blow, I keep a moving on. So hey there, sweet mama, won't you hold me tight? Give me all your love and now help me feel alright. For you know as well as I, we don't have much time. To the morning, to the pines, we clear it aside. Well, today is a new town and never quite the same. No woman I ever loved has made me wanna stay. Wish I've had my trouble, but I ain't the one to blame. Soon as the times get tough, I'm on the road again. So hey there, sweet mama, won't you hold me tight? Give me all your love and now help me feel alright. For you know as well as I, we don't have much time. To the morning, to the pines, we clear it aside. Time on the ground. When I meet my maker, we'll pass that by the rain. We'll toast to all the women that has sent my way. Thank 'em for the good times of half all my days. So hey there, sweet mama, won't you hold me tight? Give me all your love and now help me feel alright. For you know as well as I, we don't have much time. To the mornings, to the pines, we clear it aside. Said as soon as the mornings, to the pines, we clear it aside.
Tonight we're very pleased to present a concert performance with Red Leg Husky. Red Leg Husky is an acoustic roots trio based in Asheville, North Carolina. Throughout its short time together and into their first CD called Carolina, the band has been garnering rave reviews. Red Leg Husky features songwriting and vocals from guitarist Misa Giroux and Tim McWilliams, who also play mandolin and banjo, respectively. Since June 2015, the group's sound has been filled out by Son, behind me on bass. The trio returned to the studio in October 2015 to record its second full-length album called My Old Heart. Please give a Red Barn welcome back to Red Leg Husky.
Friend ain't living long like this. Wisconsin
Thanks, y'all. So that first song we did was one of the new ones off the brand new album we put out in April. That album, again, is called My Old Heart, and that first song was Born Along the Tracks. And that last one was a Rodney Crowell song called Ain't Living Long Like This, and we'd like to do a Waylon Jennings song for you now. It's called Waymore's Blues. I woke up this morning, it was drizzling rain. Round the curve, caught a passenger train. Heard somebody yodeling a hobo moan. Jimmy, he's dead, been a long time gone, been a long time gone. He's been a long time gone. Get to heaven, got the D.I.E. You gotta put on a coat and a T.I.E. If you wanna get the rabbit out the L.O.G., you gotta make a commotion like a D.O.G., like a D.O.G., like a D.O.G. I hit a good woman, what's the matter with me? What makes me wanna love every woman I see? I was trapping when I met her, now I'm traveling again. Every woman she sees is like a place I came in, like a place I came in, like a place I came in. I ain't no ordinary dude. I don't gotta work. I don't gotta work. I don't gotta work. Thank you.
We're going to do the title track off our brand new album now, My Old Heart, a little country love song kind of thing. It's going to sound something like this.
Write you a letter with my own
along the line, the way I've wanted my whole life. And I'm gonna love you forever this time. I'll say it down this heart of mine. Don't need a nickel, I'll throw out a dime if I had you all of the time. One lazy mornings with you in my arms, dark cup of coffee won't set no alarms. One long night with nothing to do but stare at the stars with the moon shining through. And I'm gonna love you forever this time. I'll set it down this heart of mine. Don't need a nickel, I'll throw out a dime if I had you all of the time. If I had you all of the time.
Thank you. Actually, when we were recording that song, we got to do most of it outside. So at the end of the CD, you can hear crickets at the end. It's probably my favorite part. This next one we're going to do is called Joan of Arc. I happened to share a birthday with Joan of Arc's dying day when she was burned at the stake. So I always thought that was pretty cool. Somehow gave me a source of strength, I guess. So that's what this song's about.
I grew up in a city of pines the night it fell. We braved the storm with red wine. I've come to know times hard and unkind, and I have never seen a match catch twice. He drove me up to the high spot in town. We had the fence of an abandoned old house, their only lights. As we were looking down, the words we said I can't remember now. But these scars will tear me apart, because I was born on the dying day of Joan of Arc. Seasons come easy, but some months never will. You've stained my days like the drinks that I've spilled. I guess some dreams must remain unfulfilled. I missed you then, and I miss you still. But these scars will tear me apart, because I was born on the dying day of Joan of Arc. Your gentle face, the ocean spray, the neon lights, the sad songs you play, skyward kites, in the warm month of May, and no such thing as losing your way. But these scars will tear me apart, because I was born on the
Hey, folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Red Barn Radio, and we are here this evening with a talented trio of pickers from Asheville, North Carolina. They call themselves Red Leg Husky, and I have 2 CDs I'm holding on to here. Their first full-length CD came out maybe a year or 2 ago. Is that right?
Yeah, 2 years ago, 2014.
Okay, that's Timothy who's speaking there. And then just this past fall, they got together and went in the studio and put together My Old Heart, which is their latest CD. And I know we'll be hearing a lot of tunes from that CD tonight, and we'll be talking about some of the music on that CD. It's great to have you guys here.
Yeah, thanks for having us back. We're having a great
Back in
time.
the house. All right, good. So Timothy McWilliams is doing a lot of the lead singing, and also lead singing is Misa. And I want Misa. I want to say your last name is Giroux, but we in this part of the country like to do funny things with French words, like Versailles versus Versailles.
Right. You got it right.
And like Paris versus Perry. Like we don't have Perry, Kentucky, we have Paris, Kentucky. No, that's not a good example. Versailles is a better example. But we would probably call you Giroux here. So, but Giroux is, I assume, what you prefer?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
good.
prefer
All
that
right.
one.
Misa, love your singing, and I'm really enjoying your music. I'm sorry I couldn't be here for your last visit to Red Barn.
It's okay. You're here now.
But what can I do about
That's
that?
okay.
I can't do anything about that. I'm here now. And you brought someone new with you.
We did.
Misa, do you want to introduce Sun?
Sure. This is Sun here on bass. We met him. Tim and I were on a cross-country tour 2 years ago, back in 2014. We played a show out in Denver, and a band he was touring with was on the same bill as us. And we hit it off really well and kept in touch. We stayed with him. He was living in Richmond. We stayed with him once or twice there, and he came down to see us. And we eventually worked up the courage to ask him to join us. And
So you stole him. So,
Pretty much.
So Richmond, where? Richmond,
Virginia.
Virginia. All right. Very nice. And what brought you to Richmond, Son?
Playing full-time music there, but sort of, cobbling it together, playing with some different bands there, and sort of trying to find one full-time band to stick with, and couldn't quite do it there. So
You're not a native Virginian.
no, I'm not.
Where are you from?
Maryland originally.
From Maryland is
Yeah.
where you were born, and
Grew up, yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. And so is the Richmond music scene an exciting scene?
Yeah, it's fantastic. There's a lot going on there. There's a really good scene there, and a really young, supportive scene. It's great. It's a great, community of bands and people that play. So.
It's nice hearing when I see an electric bass up here, I want it to be fretless.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad that yours is. It's a really nice, fat sound. Tell me about your musical training and music in your home when you were growing up and those kinds of things.
Well, my mom and my sister both play piano and sing, so there's a lot of that growing up. I quit
In Maryland?
piano.
Okay.
Yeah, I quit piano after about a month, so I didn't stick with that. But I picked up the bass when I was 13 or so, and it took about a year of lessons, and pretty much self-taught from there. But
And did you start off in rock or jazz or?
sort of rock, yeah, kind of like psychedelic rock. We were doing like Pink Floyd covers and stuff like that, in high school, and and then switched to blues and played blues pretty seriously for a couple of years, and then got into country at some point and started doing that more. So, yeah, just sort of jumped around.
Talk about that. You got into country at some point. How did that happen?
I saw a video of Towns Van Zandt in Heartworn Highways on YouTube, and that was it. That changed it. That sort of made me get serious about playing music, and got me into country. So
Interesting. Towns
was
Van
the
Zandt did
conversion
that to a
experience.
lot of people.
yeah, I believe so.
Especially as a songwriter, who's also a great performer. I mean, what a comic. I mean, it's so tragic knowing what was going on inside of him,
Yeah.
and to see the comic expression of that on stage. I'll never forget. I mean, we just laughed our butts off the night that we saw him play back in Northampton years ago.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But
yeah.
yeah, so well, that's cool. So do you like his songwriting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I sort of got into the songwriting side of country first, and then, found out more about, the bigger bands and, Waylon Jennings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of got into the, the harder edge of it, I guess.
Cool. Well, your playing is great. And I love the way you guys are weaving together your your leads, Tim, and your bass parts. It's nice. You do the thump really nice, but you also it was really cool to hear some stuff that sounded like it was really sort of orchestrated. It was very cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tim, tell me about your background in music.
Well, I guess I had a similar upbringing to Son in that I tried piano maybe even shorter than a month, maybe like 2 weeks, and then gave up on it. And then I got the banjo first, couldn't figure that one out. Then eventually got the guitar, and that, once I started figuring stuff out on the guitar, I kind of got addicted to it and couldn't put it back down. And then picked the banjo back up eventually. So
Seems like you're leaving something big out there. So how do you jump from piano to banjo? How did that happen?
I started hearing bluegrass on the radio, and maybe it was, I was one of those "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" victims. Heard the soundtrack of that, started singing that music out a little more. Since I grew up in the suburbs of Cincinnati, so bluegrass wasn't super prevalent there. And that I really wanted to, and all my friends at the time played guitar, so I thought, well, maybe I'll have more people to play music with if I have a different instrument, And I just love the sound of it, the hard drive, the harmonies. It was just so, I don't know, it's so great,
So you were a high school student when...
I was a high school student at the time of the banjo. Yeah.
When Oh Brother came out? Yeah.
That's probably when I saw it the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, right around then. Yeah.
And then you ended up in Asheville.
Yeah.
So how did tell me about that piece? And Misa, you hop in too at any point, and if you want to.
Okay.
I assume part of this is your story too.
I was there for a while.
Yeah. Well, I was in Ohio for a while, did school at Ohio University, and then, like Son as well, I was into more kind of jam bands on the electric guitar. Heard Doc Watson, wanted to pick up the acoustic. Heard about the Appalachian Studies program down in Boone, a grad school program, and a professor told me that Doc Watson loved working with the grad students. So I said, okay, that's all I needed to hear. But unfortunately, it passed a couple months before I got down there. But that's really kind of the big thing that brought me down. Is just it seems so much of the music and so many of the pickers that I was really getting into and wanting to try to learn from or learn more about were living there. So I figured this would be a good reason to start a new chapter, get down there, and that's where I met Misa. So
Yeah, Misa, you pick it up from there. How did you and Tim meet?
We were at a grad student potluck, like one of our first few days that we were both living down there, organized by one of the grad school committees down there, and yeah, we hit it off really well and kept hanging out and played music that night till like 3 a.m. and then kept playing the next few days, next few weeks, and we're still doing it. So
So you're still doing it still crazy after how many years?
four, I think.
All right.
It's been a while.
And so the two of you set out to do something. Did you both graduate?
We did.
Okay, with a degree in...
Appalachian Studies.
All right. And you can do music with that. What else do you do with a degree in Appalachian Studies?
whatever your heart desires.
What does your heart desire?
Well, my heart desired the music thing.
Yeah.
And so we kind of, when we finished school, neither one of us knew exactly what we wanted to do, but we knew we really loved playing music. And in Boone, we were getting more gigs. And we decided this would be a great time for us both to see the country, since we hadn't seen a lot of it before. So we did this big 3-month cross-country tour. And after that, we were living in a Honda CR-V. We didn't want to kill each other, so that was a big sign that, we still play music together. And then, it just went really well. So we just got a little house out in the country outside of Boone, and then kept gigging, and we're still gigging.
So did you guys have, if you don't mind me asking, did you have some sort of resources to operate with when you set out to roam across the country playing music, or were you really, really dependent upon, regular gigs and regular money to pay your way around?
Yeah, I think we both had a little bit of saved, but it was dependent on gigs, yeah, for sure. So there were some definitely stressful moments on that, and a lot of interesting meals that we came up with to save money. But yeah, we did all the booking ourselves. We still do everything ourselves, and played, some around 20 shows most months, I think, and yeah, some, anywhere that would have us, we'd play. So
when you look back at that time, especially during some of the times when you're really, really struggling, and you said it was really stressful, do you ever look back and say, maybe if we were to do it all over again, we would do this? Do you have any regrets about it, or are there any points in time when you think,
I don't think so. I don't think I have any regrets about it. I'm not really sure how we did it for 3 months. Like, just even we have like 3 or 4 day runs of shows now. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted by the end. But that was just like, we're constantly traveling every single day. Looking back, I'm like, wow, that was pretty incredible. But
what was the weirdest place you played on your trip? Tell a funny story.
Well, we had a lot of fun in this little town in Nebraska. It was a late night show both times. We hit it on the way out, and then since we had a month between the shows, they had us back when we were coming back through. And it was a great crowd. We met some really great people. It was great to see a thriving music scene there too. But it was a late show, so people were getting rowdy, and it was both times we saw a fight break out at the end of the show. So that was, one for the, I guess, old log there. We didn't really expect to see.
That must have made you feel pretty good, really.
Yeah, we were winding up the chords, and we were just glad we weren't on the other end of the bar and could just watch from afar.
You weren't there for that, son.
No. But I have seen some bar fights after some shows around Virginia, so.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
One time somebody picked up one of our mic stands, those old school mic stands with the cast iron base.
Yes.
And, threatened somebody else with it, so.
Oh.
That was fun. But the percussionist in our band at the time stood up for the guy, got in the way, put himself in harm's way, probably saved that guy's life, so.
Of course, he was holding a mallet.
No, just brave. I ran the other way, so I'll be honest. But
he scared them away with his brushes.
Right.
Hey, we're talking and laughing with Red Leg Husky right now. They're from Asheville, North Carolina. We're going to come back and talk with them some more in a little while. We'll talk about their new album and also about some of the challenges and personal losses that sparked some of your new songs. Red Leg Husky, it's great to have you with us on Red Barn Radio. Welcome them back, folks.
One, two, three.
Well, blue railroad train going down the railroad tracks, making me feel so doggone blue. Listen to that old smokestack. Well, drivers rolling on, leaving me here behind. Well, give me back them good old days and let me ramble down the line. Well, I got them blues, boy, I'm longing for some company. With many miles from where I am, you're the only one for me. Well, it's so lonesome here, waiting for the manifest. Well, I hope that engineer is kind enough to let me be his guest. I'm here, waiting for the manifest. Well, I hope that engineer is kind enough to let me be his guest. See, I love to hear that train, love to hear the whistle blow. Wish you'd taken the sun, leaving the rain, and making me think of home. Well, blue railroad train, blue railroad train, blue railroad train.
Thank you. Thanks. That last song was an old kind of bluegrass standard, and we tried to do it there in the style of Tony Rice. It was originally written by the Delmore Brothers. And we're going to do an original here. This is an older original. This is one of those songs off of the CD we put out in 2014. It's called Stars of June.
I wrote my life down by hand. Now chapters blow away like sand. Always looking for some truth. Dreams in my head say there's no use. Well, simple things blow my mind. Time is just inherently sublime. A parallel universe to find. Well, Father Time, can we make the climb? So fly me to the moon so I can see those stars of June. Let me touch the sun so I die before I'm young. Fly me to that moon so I can see those stars of June. Let me touch the sun so I die before I'm young. The rains, they come and they go. The winds whistle as trees blow. Now fairy tales in disguise, they tell me everything's gonna be alright. Oh, will the ark save again, or leave us dead in sin? Well, just open up your eyes, and muse will never to the moon so I can see those stars of June. Let me touch the sun so I die before I'm young. Fly me to that moon so I can see those stars of June. Let me touch the sun so I die before I'm young.
Thanks, y'all. We're going to do one of our own now. This is one off the new album. This is we like to say it's a cautionary tale and a public service announcement. It's called Don't Go Falling in Love. And normally when we do it live, we do it in the context of 3 or 4 good old heartbreak songs like, what's that one? Your Cheating Heart, that's the one. But, you know, it's a shorter set today, so we'll just do this one, but hope y'all like it. Well, don't you go falling in love. It'll only break your heart, leave you alone. We'll cry and cry, feel like dying. So don't you go falling in love. When I had a girl that ruled my world, she was a one and then she was gone. Well, my heart and soul turned as black as coal. So don't you go falling in love. Now don't you go falling in love. It'll only break your heart, leave you alone. You'll cry and cry, feel like dying. So don't you go falling in love. I was lost in a dream when someone thought that they had me. Well, they wanted more. I was stuck on that girl, the girl that wrecked my whole world. So don't you go falling in love. It'll only break your heart, leave you alone. You'll cry and cry, feel like dying. So don't you go falling in love. All I'm doing now. Well, please take some advice from me. What's that now? When our life is in, they will cheat, and men will do the same. So share the blame. Don't you go falling in love. Now don't you go falling in love. It'll only break your heart, leave you alone. You'll cry and cry, feel like dying. So don't you go falling in love. Now don't you go falling in love. Now don't you go falling in love.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of Red Barn Radio. Red Barn Radio is coming to you live from the Performance Hall at Arts Place here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back to the Red Barn stage, Red Leg Husky.
My hat don't hang on the same nail too long. My ears can't stand to hear the same old song. And I don't leave the highway long enough to bog down in the mud. I got rambling fever in my blood. Well, this rambling fever caught me long ago, when I first heard the whistle blow. If anyone ever said I gave a damn, the damn should told you wrong. Well, I've had rambling fever all along. Rambling fever, kind of can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever, there ain't no kind of cure for my disease. Well, I like to be bed down on the sofa and let some pretty lady rub my back, and spend the early morning drinking coffee, talking about when I'll be coming back. There ain't no woman that could ever hold me down, and I'll never be told to get around. And I like to diet on the highway and ride away like some highline pole, and rest the rambling fever in my soul. Well, rambling fever,
we're gonna slow it down for a second here. Do another new one of ours. This is a song called Your Favorite Hymn. I guess it was inspired by little memories of, mornings making tea, just really little simple things that kind of stuck with me. The last verse in it is for our buddy William. He passed away 2 years ago today, and a lot of our new album, at least, was inspired by him. So this one goes out to him. Sing me your favorite hymn. My faith is known to run thin, but the blood in my body that tunnels my skin flushes at the thought of our sins. Heat up some tea on the stove, and we'll waltz round the butcher's block to the muscadine's grove. I'll still be waiting, it's a long time I know, but it's warm coming in from the cold. The winds will carry away whispers left where we've lain, but I'll follow them down like smoke to a train. Partings only bring pain. Me with words from a poem. I think of them often here out on the road. I'm ready, I'm coming home. Winds will carry away whispers left while we've lain, but I follow them down like smoke to a train. Partings only bring pain. Let's pour around for a friend, an angel among women and men. I can still hear him say like a light from within, I'm glad you had me again. Winds will carry away whispers left where we've lain, but I follow them down like smoke to a train. Partings only bring pain. Partings only bring pain. Thank you.
All right, so this next song we're going to do is another one of those originals off My Old Heart. This is a tune called Hey Little Darling.
Well, it occurs to me we did not spend a second talking about where the name Red Leg Husky comes from. And what a sin it would be if we didn't at least touch on that, because there's somebody out there who's got to be wondering.
Oh, I'm sure. We get that question
Yeah,
very frequently.
I don't
It's a weird
doubt
name, but so since Tim is from Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Reds used to be called the Red Legs, and I'm from Connecticut, so the Yukon Huskies. Put them together, got a cool sounding animal out of it, so yeah, it stuck.
All right. Well, I was thinking there was a dog in the mix. I mean, like a personal dog or something.
Not a husky, unfortunately.
All right. Well, I like it. It is a catchy name, and it works.
Thank you.
It works for the music you're playing. But I would not. Yeah, and I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier when you said you're from Cincinnati. Red Legs. Bad year.
Yeah.
It's a bad year for the Red Legs.
We've been conditioned.
Possibly one of the worst in recent memory.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Well, it's there. It's not here. So, Asheville, North Carolina. We need to talk about Asheville. I would love for you guys to tell me what Asheville's like right now. What's the scene like? We have these notions of Asheville.
Well, what notions do you have?
Um,
What's the story?
Nice place to visit, but I couldn't afford to live there.
That's completely true. Yeah.
Okay.
We can't either. Most of the musicians in town, I think, are moving out to the, little surrounding towns and stuff. So, I mean, that's where Misa and I live, is, outside of town.
So the town saps all of its entertainment out of the young artists, but says to them, "We have no place for you to live here. You must live on our streets or get out of town." Is that the idea?
I don't think that's true. I mean, I live in
Right, defend it.
I live in West Asheville and have, affordable rent and a nice little house there. I love the city. I know, I think like any city, there's good, and then you can see a lot of bad if you want to see a lot of bad. But
I don't want to see a
Yeah.
lot of bad. I just hear a lot of bad.
Yeah.
No, Lexington, we're a city. We're a city that, we're not like Asheville, but we have some great parts of town, the hot entertainment, really great music scene, and then it's tough to live downtown.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what exactly you're looking for. But as far as the music scene, it's been great to us so far. One of the good things about the city attracting so many people and the big brewery boom that's happening down there, well, not only is there great beer all over the place, but all the breweries are really supportive of live music and always have live music and treat the musicians well. And just because so many people are coming into town all the time, for such a small city, there's so many places for us to play. And that's what really drew me and Misa down there from Boone, because Boone's more of a college town, and there's some places to play, but we were driving a lot, and we were spending a lot of time in Asheville anyway. So I think it's good. I mean, we've only been there for going on I guess about a year now. So
Well, that's a good run.
Yeah, still making connections and feeling more at home there as we get to hang out there more. We're on the road a lot.
Yeah.
But
So do you feel like there are plenty of venues there for different kinds of musicians, or is it mostly roots music? Would you say that the music sort of follows a certain thread?
I mean, there seems to be quite a lot going on. There seems to be a fair amount of jazz and funk and stuff. Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of music. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
That's good.
and plenty of bluegrass and stuff too. But
Now, you probably don't see a lot of bluegrass music in Richmond.
no, there's quite a bit actually.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. There's quite a bit of country and bluegrass going on there now. So
Ah, very cool.
yeah, it's a great town for it for sure.
All right. Well, I'd love hearing folks from Asheville. We get a lot of musicians here from that area. A lot of folks who have followed the sort of Appalachian studies direction and gotten into sort of banjo and sort of some of the roots music. You guys have a lot of influences. Like, for instance, I saw a video of you singing a Mary Chapin Carpenter song. You've mentioned Townes Van Zandt, did a Waylon Jennings tune, did a Rodney Crowell tune. Who are some of your other influences?
Mary Chapin Carpenter is definitely my big one. I've been listening to her since I was a little kid, so I'm pretty obsessed that way. But
Is that your favorite song of hers, the one that you played?
no, it's one of them. My favorite one's "The Hard Way." It's probably my all-time favorite song. But yeah, she's great. Tiff Merritt is another one of my huge influences. She's out of North Carolina, and I think she's a great songwriter. So those are my two big ones, I guess.
Nice. What about you, Tim?
I guess my two biggest ones over the last few years consistently that I've listened to the most of are Doc Watson and Tony Rice, two of my biggest guitar heroes. But recently I've been slowly delving into the jazz world, and Wes Montgomery and one of the younger, I guess, guitar aces, a guy named Julian Lage. Everything I hear from them is just mind-blowing. So it's cool stuff to listen to.
You're a lifelong learner.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you really picked up your picking is great, really solid. I can see who you've
Thank
studied.
you.
Sounds really nice.
Thank you.
Sounds really nice. You all were talking early on, a couple songs ago. You played a slow one, the song about the hymn, and you mentioned. I'm sorry, was your friend's name William?
Yes.
Okay, and tell me about William.
Well,
Would you mind?
there's so much to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Anytime his name's mentioned I kind of think about him. One of the memories I always think about is the first time I met him, and it was at that same potluck that me and Misa met at, and it was one of the first kind of things I went to in Boone to try to meet people, and he was kind of sitting quietly at a picnic table, and he heard that I was in the Appalachian Studies program, and he was a second year at this time, and in a different track, the cultural track, but I wasn't used to this welcome in Cincinnati anyway, but as soon as he heard, he just came up to me. He's like, "I'm William," and gave me the biggest hug, and it was a long hug, and it's like, all right, welcome to Boone, and it was great, and he was a guy that he just was such a good listener and a person that would get you to do stuff you normally wouldn't do, and someone that when you were around him, you wanted to be better, and kind of. He gave you a zest for life.
Yeah, that's the best way I would describe it. He asked a lot of questions. Always wanted to know people better, introduce himself to absolutely anyone, make friends with anyone. So trying to be better at that myself, and trying to get out there now. And yeah, he was really inspiring, and it was a great person to meet when we first got to Boone. So.
And so, was he a younger person when he passed, or
He was 30. He had just turned 30.
Oh, wow. And so, was it William's passing that sort of pushed you to write some of the songs for your new CD? Was there someone else? I was under the impression that you maybe experienced a couple of losses in your lives.
Well, I think that's the biggest one, and I know that Misa definitely had some great, I think, expressed some of those feelings really well in the songs, and I was blown away by some of them when she first presented, and I still love playing them, But it's some of the loss, I think, is some hard heartbreak that you get down in a slump for a while, and it's like, really country music, listen to Hank Williams or something. It's like, man, I get it now, really. And then, I think some of the songs came from that too, of trying to turn some kind of pain into a happy feeling, or just a way to release something out of you.
It's
Yeah.
good when music can do that.
Yeah, I think William finds his way into every song I write, it seems these days. That's always on my mind. But yeah, definitely heartbreak for a while. There's always something to draw from there, and tying it all together somehow. Thoughts coalesce in my brain like that.
Do you have any thoughts at all about your Appalachian Studies program that you both pursued? Do you recommend that degree program for others in high school or college thinking about a new direction for their studies?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the best things about it was how that program is such a community. So if you want, to move somewhere new, you're interested in it, you're instantly in this small, tight-knit group of folks that share a really common passion about something, and just, it felt like in 2 weeks I had a bunch of friends and really close friends, and that was one of the best things. And then, for music, for me, was lucky to have a professor that helped me go and let me make connections, facilitated connections with some of the tradition bearers in the community that I could go and sit with and see, and just being able to talk to them and hear stories, and just all the jams and stuff going on. I mean, it definitely felt like an incubation period for me, just in a lot of aspects, but definitely music, definitely music.
You want to add to that, Misa?
Yeah, I guess before I had actually started the program, I was only focusing on music, and that's all I really knew about when it came to Appalachian Studies. But just my first few weeks, months in the program, I learned about Appalachian literature and the political side of things, and anything you were interested in, you could tie it into Appalachian Studies. So it's really, really diverse that way. I think it's pretty cool. I would recommend it.
One of the last things I'll add is every paper, because it's a relatively new discipline, like really kind of started in the 70s, I guess, but anytime I had an idea and I took it to a professor, the reaction was always, "Oh, that would be wonderful if you wrote about that," because it was kind of something new. Obviously, had to hone me in a lot, but that always felt great.
All right. Well, Timothy and Misa and Son, it's been great having you all on Red Barn Radio tonight. Folks, Red Leg Husky has come out with a new CD. It's called My Old Heart. It was released this past fall. We highly recommend it, and we know you can go to their website and get more information about the CD. And you can also listen to this Red Barn Radio show on our website by going to our archives, and we urge you to do so, and also to listen to other past shows from other bands who come from that region. So glad to have you all with us. Let's welcome back Red Leg Husky.
Drinking Dale, coffee was stale. Sitting all I got left is a pack of smokes. The bread's all gone and the milk's out too. What's my life coming to? Broken down, bust flat. No baby, come help me off my back. Sing me to sleep and rock me home. Tired laying on this ground alone. Sing me to sleep and rock me home. Tired laying on this ground alone. While driving no coal that's rusted through. My house is painted black and blue. Wore my shirt and got holes in my shoes. What's my life coming to? Broken down, bust flat. Oh baby, come help me off my back. Sing me to sleep and rock me home. Tired laying on this ground alone. Sing me to sleep and rock me home. Tired laying on this ground alone. Well, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die. Sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die. Sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die. Sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die. Sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die. Sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die. Sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die. Sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, sweet lullaby, till I die.
So that last song was one of those newer ones called Broken Down, Busted Flat, and that came out of that 3-month cross-country tour during some of those hard parts. And this next one we're going to do is another one of these newer ones. It's a tune called Katie.
lady, I'm ready for a new love letter. It's been a few months now, things are better. I promise I won't tear it up like the last time. I know you say that I'm too rough, I just don't know how to show my love. I guess I thought that fighting was how you'd prove it. So baby, come back and close the door. Show me what all those words are for. Put a record on if you feel like dancing. You love the sun and you love the snow, but where it's going, where does it go? The sky looks a little bit bluer when you lay me down. See, if I'm a lion, then you're a dove. We didn't talk too much where I grew up. Any pain you'd push to the bottom like a submarine. If you could build me a time machine, I'd go right back to that first skinned knee and let out a cry that would bring that old house down. So baby, come back and close the door. Show me what all those words are for. Put a record on if you feel like dancing. You love the sun and you love the snow, but where that's gold, where does it go? The sky looks a little bit bluer when you lay me down. It's a simple, they don't cold liquor. You ain't no angel, but you ain't no sinner. You're what's keeping me on this earth ice wine. So baby, come back and close the door. Show me what all those words are for. Put a record on if you feel like dancing. You love the sun and you love the snow, but where it's gold, where does it go? The sky looks a little bit bluer when you lay me down. Lay me down. Thank you.
We're gonna play a fiddle tune now. As I figure out where on the set list we are, we're gonna play a fiddle tune now. This is one called "The Black Mountain Rag." Tim's our fiddler here. This is a guitar fiddle, is what it's called. And yeah, this is one called "The Black Mountain Rag." He finished in the top 10 of a fiddlers convention competition with this a little while back. And here it is.
We'd like to thank our guest, Red Leg Husky, for being with us tonight on Red Barn Radio. We also thank those of you who have been listening to our webcast on WGAD, and of course, those of you who came to join us tonight in the studio. Thank you for being here with us. Once again, folks, let's hear it from Red Leg Husky.
Just want to say one last thing. Thanks, y'all, so much. And this last song is a tune about my grandfather, who recently passed away. He's one of my heroes. It's called Charlie.
Well, Charlie was born in a holler on the hill, nice old shack in a country still. He made their lightning white. They made their lightning. You jerk to your tribe saying, I'm gonna go to the other side. Well, oh, the other side, here I go. Well, he grew up long and lean, finest man any woman ever seen. But their holding was in the ground, and it said, Lord, I ain't gonna go down.